Well, howdy, Crossroads, and happy Tuesday. I'm 25 News Now meteorologist Parker Cox, looking at your morning weather update to see what y'all could expect in the weather realm for the next few days. A little hint there. It's good news, and actually, it's a lot of good news, and here's why. First of all, we have a cool front coming our way Tuesday night. Second of all, it's going to bring us some slight rain chances. Third of all, it's going to bring us some much nicer weather. And fourth of all, if that's not enough, we have much, much better rain chances this weekend. And we're going to talk about all that here in just a moment. Starting out with the heat for your Taco Tuesday. Well, we're going to be sizzling like a taco for your Taco Tuesday, y'all. As you can see, South Texas looking a little bit hot. I mean, today is October 21st. Not supposed to be this hot out here. Actually, we're going to be about 10 to 11 degrees above our average high for this time of year. In Victoria, looking at a high of about 94 degrees, but look at North Texas. These are the high temperatures today, the hottest it's going to get. We're looking at the hottest it'll be in Amarillo today, 70 degrees. Why is that? Well, a cool front. You heard us talking about it all since last week, actually. So timing out this I'm going to call it a cool front, not a cold front, because we're not going to cool down that much. We'll cool down a little bit, which we'll look at in a second, because timing it out on your future tracker, you did hear me say that this front will also bring us rain chances. So what's that about? Well, here it is. Here's noontime Tuesday. Going into the afternoon time, timing out the rain, chances are going to be 20%, 20, for possibly a few spotty showers that try to form in the later afternoon hours. It'll be from, I'm thinking, 2, maybe 3 p.m., all the way up until about 7 p.m., maybe 6 p.m. when the rain activity starts cutting off, and the same with the cloud cover. All that thanks to the front that's moving into the area that will be clashing, actually. This front will actually be clashing with the sea breeze that we usually see in the afternoon time around 2, 3 p.m. Here it is right here. Here's the sea breeze. They'll be kind of converging, kind of clashing into each other, boom, like that, as we go into about 4 or 5 p.m., and that's exactly what's going to spark up a few spotty showers. And I should also say this. Shower activity, 20% is going to go for Highway 59 counties and southward towards the coast. That includes from B County all the way up to Wharton County, all the way including Refugio, Aransas, Calhoun, and even Matagorda County. So y'all are going to have that 20% chance for a few showers late this afternoon. Otherwise, if you don't see the rain, you can see everyone else today. For Tuesday, going to be looking mostly sunny, so make sure you've got your sunglasses packed. But then everything changes, and it's for the better. Because before when it gets here, it's going to be hot. We'll look at those temps here in a second. Because timing the front, it'll be here in Victoria County, I'm thinking sometime between 7 to 9, maybe 10 p.m. Tuesday night. You'll notice it when the winds start to shift out of the north-northeast, and the humidity will start to drop a little bit. And we're going to look at that here in a second as well. But timing it out for the rest of tonight, like I said, sometime between 7 to 9, maybe 10 p.m., it'll pass through Victoria County, and that'll bring it mostly an end to the cloud cover and also our rain chances. But this front, it's going to be a very weak cool front. That's why I'm calling it a cool front, not a cold front, because going into overnight tonight, timing it out, you're going to see this front is going to be battling the sea breeze that I was just talking about that usually advances in the afternoon time. You can see it right here. Here's 7 p.m. Tuesday evening, early evening. Here's the northerly winds, and then here's the sea breeze pushing and battling up against that front. But eventually, the front will win. They'll win the battle, and the drier air will filter in the area, and the same with the cooler air, which is, like I said, much needed, because here are your high temperatures for Tuesday. Ooh, look a little hot out there. You know, obviously not super hot, but it is hot for October 21st. It's October, not August 21st. This is about, like I said, 10 to 11 degrees above our average high temperature this time of year. Average is 83 in Victoria for October 21st. That's a little bit of a warm one out there, but if that's not for you, like I said, the front coming tonight, gonna cool us off. We're looking at lows finally dropping back into the 60s for Wednesday morning or Tuesday night, mid-60s for most of us. Maybe if we're real lucky, someone in our northern counties might be in the upper 50s, 59 for a second or so, but other than that, with cool air still filtering into the area all night long into tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, highs on Wednesday will be graciously, quote-unquote, cooler in the upper 80s for most of us, maybe even mid-80s on the coast. How about that, if you ask me? Which is a sight for sore eyes, if you ask me. And another sight for sore eyes is rain, and that is a much, much sorer sight. Because we haven't seen any of that in a long time, which is why most of us are under burn bans, so please no burning out there still. But a sight for sore eyes, what is that about? Well, we have rain. That's what I'm talking about. rain chances are back this weekend. You think they're low today, 20%? Just wait till Saturday. They're at 70% for scattered thunderstorms, to which some of them could be strong, because what we're tracking out there is this mid-level low pressure system just off the west coast. Not this low, which is going to be bringing us the front Tuesday night, but this mid-level low that came off the west coast. That's going to ride right over the Rocky Mountains going into the latter half of this week. And into this weekend, it'll eject off the mountains for Friday, and that'll bring chances for Friday up to 30%, 30 for a few isolated showers on the crossroads, but then up to 70% once that low fully ejects off the mountains and sends a bunch of westerly winds coming out of the Pacific. That'll bring a bunch of moisture over the mountains and even the Sierra Madre Mountains of Mexico to bring us thunderstorms and maybe even some strong thunderstorms, which we're going to look at here right after this, because if all of that isn't good enough news for you, how about this? What is this? This monstrous low pressure system is coming out of the Pacific next week. This is next Wednesday, not tomorrow Wednesday. Next Wednesday. That's going to be October 29th, just 2 days before Halloween. We've got a monstrous low, y'all, coming off of the mountains and the Pacific, and that will bring us our first officially real fall cold front. I know I've been teasing it for a while, but I think it's really coming our way next week, so y'all get excited. Of course, right before Halloween. Always something right on Halloween. But for your Saturday, what we're going to be tracking before that big old nonsense comes our way for next week, or I guess good old goodness, we're going to be tracking this low system, the mid-level low, that is going to bring us our chance for thunderstorms on Saturday. This is 8 a.m. in the morning, Saturday morning. You can see right here in Victoria, looking at a decent chance for some showers and thunderstorms. See even a better chance for Saturday later morning, 11 a.m. right here, but going a little bit further, it's 2 p.m. Maybe some stronger thunderstorms in this little mix-up of showers and thunderstorm activity. So we're going to be monitoring your Saturday and Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening this coming weekend for possibly some severe weather. But until that happens, y'all, please enjoy the cool front that is coming our way Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. That will bring us some much more enjoyable weather than the obnoxious, kind of hot mid-90s for October 21st today. So y'all stay safe and cool in that crispy heat out there. And until I see y'all for tomorrow, Weather Wednesday, thanks and gig 'em. Stay safe.